My friends, this is a moment of tests for all mankind. A lot of emergency meetings this week. As you know, it's been very hectic with all what's going on. Let's get back to the main focus point, the COVID 19 pandemic repercussion. Despite the fact that we are following up with the steering committee during the 2023-2026 phase, we have to make historic comparison of this unfortunate event for the Black Plague in example, if you would. No humanity, the trivialization of deaths since 2020, the thing that have been already highlighted and that everybody heard, so there's no need for redundancy in this matter. The failure to read, the fact that people are saying rather World War III and civil wars than pre-COVID over their own bodies. That's the hashtag. So we have to take all that into consideration from the perspective of counterterrorism and intelligence, because this is what humanity has reached. The fact that there are two worlds apart and the one world is boiling and the other one doesn't know where to hide anymore, and we have to face it. The fact that we have also to speak about the conflicts of civilization. I invoked empires and balkanizations theory the other day, but it's a conflict of civilizations either way. The comparison could be also, as I mentioned in a short video lately, not just with the Black Plague, but with the Hundred Years' War that took place in the 14th and 15th centuries. Comparisons with the failure of the Game of Alliance that I already deliberated within the context of indirect causes of World War One, and what I've been speaking about Verdun before. In the context of World War II, I have invoked the bloodiest massacres that we have seen in Stalingrad and Kursk. The indirect causes of World War III are piling, unfortunately, between the COVID 19 pandemic, big time, the Russian-Ukrainian conflicts, the recent conflicts between Azerbaijan and Armenia, and we get back to the powder keg of the Middle East, the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. That was basically, to many historians, what could cause this global war before 2014, before the tension started between Russia and Ukraine. But unfortunately, there's nothing to be proud of, and gathering this it's not a competition, unfortunately, but those are factors that could all of them push us to doomsday. So I continue speaking at the level of Russia and Ukraine with both parties, with the Kremlin, but also at the level of Kiev regarding how to work for the ceasefire. We should not omit the question of the Russian-Ukrainian conflict right now. You have to analyze things also from the perspective of the pressures that you can have in the Middle East, not just from the Arab countries but other Muslims. The pressure that is ongoing from Turkey on one side and Iran on the other side. Those are Turkish and Persian, but believe me, there are so many words in Arabic that are closer to Hebrew than to Turkish and Farsi. To me, for example, I can understand a lot of things in Hebrew that I cannot understand things in Turkish or Persian when they speak. That's how different it is from the Arabic language that is closer to the Israelis' language, the Hebrew, rather than the language of Turkey and Iran. On Podorcade, like I said, unfortunately in the Middle East, with Lebanon as well, with Syria and Iraq, let's not forget about that. Things have not slowed down over there. Things are keeping piling. So when you speak about Israel and Palestine, do not forget that there are other conflicts that are still ongoing ever since the explosion of March 2020 that was caused by COVID. That's why I said this is one of the main things that could lead the world to Between quotes, and unfortunately, what could be the final solution, the real final solution? The fact that we have been married with the nuclear factor ever since 1945, and getting back to thinking like the medieval age with that capability is just it's impossible to even think. You're gonna live day by day, and it's gonna be tied to you forever. I'm here now. That's the hashtag that the nuclear weapons are saying to mankind every day. I understand the concern at the level of the Knesset and the people in Jerusalem, Tel Aviv, Haifa, Beersheba, regarding several things, the one of the Likud as well. And going back here to the situation of finances in Israel, as we say in Hebrew, en li kesef. It's a very difficult financial situation. So, getting back to this atrocious thought about eradicating the Israelis, and also on the other side eradicating the Palestinians, and looking at this at the level of the Azeri-Armenian conflict of Artsakh, and eradicating Armenians is just pushing humanity to a level of tension that have never been seen before. Like I say, we cannot even compare it to Kursk and Stalingrad right now, given the fact that nuclear weapons were invented after Kursk and Stalingrad happened. The situations throughout the world, we'll get back onto that step by step. Like I said, catching up with the steering committee at several levels right now, and getting back also to the governance here in the United States with the continuous crisis of ultra-liberalism that have been also basically cemented through the COVID crisis. So we speak here about other tensions inside of the United States that we'll get back onto later on as well. This could concern also other countries in the West, like France. I mean, these are things that will overshadow so many things. And I'll be honest with you, even if I have friends in politics, friends in journalism even, but like I said, even if we do not agree with the narratives, I understand that they are doing their jobs. But from my executive perspective, I have also a line and a monograph, long story short. The elections could be overshadowed given the status of the world, either the 2024 presidential in the United States or the presidential of 2027 in France, in example. Revenons à mon français sur la situation des Jeux Olympiques qui peuvent être un événement majeur, mais comme j'ai dit, on parle sur le fait de défendre la lutte contre le terrorisme lors des événements sportifs majeurs. Et malheureusement, la France actuellement, malgré le fait qu'il y a une Coupe du Monde de rugby qui est bien organisée, doit resserrer les vis parce qu'on s'approche d'un événement très très important et il faut être prêt au jour J. Le rôle de la lutte contre le terrorisme lors des Jeux Olympiques est très important, vu tout ce qu'on a vu lors des attentats de Munich en 1972 et ce qui s'est passé à Atlanta as well en 1996. Quindi non devono dimenticare l'Italia che va a organizzare i Giochi Olimpici dell'inverno del 2026 a Milano e Cortina d'Ampezzo insieme. È importante sottolineare tutte le forze e il lavoro per vincere altra volta contro il terrorismo. Felicidades a España, Argentina, Uruguay, Paraguay, parabéns para Portugal, مبروك للمغرب for the organization also of another major event, the 2030 World Cup, that could be also an important event to highlight the economic development that is unfortunately not the main concern of the steering committee right now, but it is a must for us to foster humanity and keep going. Morocco just wake up from a terrible earthquake, and starting building up towards several projects in the meantime.